I don't think so. And no, I don't think that they did. There are others I'm not so sure about, but I don't think that personally. I don't think that they experimented on me.
Did you see combat?
From the safety of the flight deck through a pair of high-powered binoculars during the regular Sunday barbecues. Yeah, I watched people being blown up on the beach, but if you by sea combat you mean was I out there with a bayonet between my teeth? Never.
How come you served?
Pardon me?
How come you served? Were you drafted? Did you volunteer?
Oh, served. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't think that I was all that unusual. I was in college. I graduated from high school with scholarships to UCLA, and Vietnam was bearing down on us then, and I saw people being drafted every day and sent off, some of whom didn't come back. And as the war intensified and my GPA dropped through the floor, I saw 1A status staring me in the face. So I decided that I had a couple of choices. One, go to Canada and never come back, or two, sign up for a reserve status or the National Guard, and bank on the war being over within a year before I had to actually go out and serve. So that's what I did. I signed up for the Naval Reserves, went to weekend meetings for a year, and then in late 1967, my time was up and I had to serve. So I went. It was with great reluctance that I abandoned Los Angeles and headed off to the Far East.
On what basis did you conclude that America should never have fought the Vietnam War?
Well, I think that Vietnam it marked a very clear beginning to the role that the United States has adopted of being policemen to the world, which I think is another way of proclaiming American imperialism, supplanting the British imperialism of the 19th century, and I think that Vietnam demonstrated how wrong-headed that idea is. I think that 55,000 American kids died needlessly for nothing, for no good reason at all except to satisfy Robert McNamara, Lyndon Johnson, and Richard Nixon and their political ends. And who knows, how many Vietnamese died? 1 million? Who knows? Maybe 1.5 million? And, for what reason? What good came of that war? nothing. You know, I mean, all it did was make the South China Seas safe for deep sea oil exploration and the exploitation of rubber plantations. And, you know, I mean, is that why some of my friends that I went to high school with gave up their lives to make Standard Oil and British Petroleum stronger and more profitable? I think that's pretty horrific, don't you?
I'm going to be neutral.
Well, that's that's quite. I don't know. It's quite journalistic of you, Luke. I'm so proud of you.
Does the world need a policeman?
No, I don't think so. I mean, not in terms of one nation under God wielding its of morality on others. I mean, I think that there is an incredible nationalistic arrogance to that, and I think that I think the United States of America made a grievous error in assuming that role.
Does Memphis need policemen?
Probably. I suspect every community, every political entity to some degree need a police force of one type or another to keep order and civility.
But the world doesn't.
Well, when you're talking about Memphis, you're talking about individuals. When you're talking about the world, you're talking about nations. And I think that there is a considerable difference between an individual human being and an individual nation. I mean, you know, who am I to go into Peru or Afghanistan or Nepal and say, you will do it this way, or we'll send you to jail, or we'll put you on trial, or, you know, we'll execute you. I think that I think you're talking about apples and oranges here.
Would you say that overall the United States has been a great force for freedom and goodness in the world over the past 100 years?
Compared to what?
Compared to every other nation.
Well, the easy answer to that is no, because I can see, you know, I mean, I can dredge up a half dozen nations on just off the top of my head who've done a far better job of being civil and contributory members of the global community than the United States overall. And by, you know, I mean, I can think there's Canada, there's Denmark, there's, there are any number of countries that have shown themselves to be far more enlightened in how they treat